Hey everybody, I'm Dr. John Wheeler, and I am a Christian counselor and mental health therapist here in the Lake Oconee area, which is a small community just outside of Atlanta. So one of the questions that I get from time to time is, what should I do if someone I know or someone I love is in counseling or in therapy? How can I support them? How should I behave? How should I act? What should I do when somebody that I love is actually going through counseling? And so when I hear that question, the three things that typically come to mind, and I'm not saying these are the only three. There may be some more out there, but these are the three that come to my mind. And the first one is control, right? Control. You want to pay attention to your sense of control. You know, you have somebody in your life who you love, right? And you desperately want them to do what you want them to do. And in this case, it may be going to therapy. But the fact of the matter is, you can't force that to happen, right? You can't make that happen. You can't control them. They either are or they are not going to do it. And then when they get into counseling, they either are or are not going to talk about things that you think they should talk about. So to some extent, there's a lot of this that you're going to be unable to control when it comes to a friend or a family member or a loved one who's going to counseling. And that can be very frustrating. That can actually add to the anxiety and the issues that may be going on already. So you want to have a very good awareness of what you can and what you cannot control when it comes to this person in therapy. And honestly, that's life in many ways. That's how it is with, just in a family. You want your kids to do these things, and you learn real quick when they become teenagers that they're going to do whatever they're going to do. You can't really control them unless you're going to wrap them up with duct tape and throw them in the closet. And that doesn't work. So having a good sense of control and acceptance, that's probably the more important aspect of this. Having an acceptance of what you cannot control and being at peace with that is going to go a long way, especially when you have a family member or a loved one who is going through therapy. Okay, so having that sense of control is going to help the dynamics at the house or at home or wherever. The second thing goes back to the relationship dynamic between you and that individual. One of the things that I've learned is that almost every single human being that walks the face of the earth is struggling to either matter or struggling to be good enough. And this really manifests itself in the relationship, especially the home relationship, the marriage relationship. The husband is always trying to prove that he's a good enough husband or a good enough father in his own way. And the mom is doing everything she can to matter, to prove that she's relevant, not just in her husband's life, but in her kid's life. So she's doing everything she can to prove that she matters. And it could be reversed. Sometimes it'll be the husband are trying to matter, and the wife is trying to prove that she's good enough. Nevertheless, those are the two, what I call negative cognitions or false beliefs that everybody has that have a huge impact on the relationship. So if you have somebody who's going through counseling or going through therapy, try to be aware of what's really happening there, especially in your relationship with them, because you want to demonstrate to them that what they're doing matters. You want to demonstrate to them that it matters to you. It makes you feel like you matter to them, right? So having an awareness of not just your false beliefs about yourself, but your loved one's false beliefs can go a long way too in that nurturing, safe environment that they really need in addition to the counseling or therapy that they're going to. And the third thing is pretty doggone simple, but at the same time, it's probably one of the most significant things that you can do. And that is just be present. You don't have to have a doctorate in psychology. You don't have to have a master's in counseling. You don't have to have a whatever to be a human being. And if you can just be present, and what does that look like? It looks like you don't have to know the answers, right? You don't have to be a professional who's been trained in psychology or counseling or anything like that. You just have to be present. That's it. You can have such a profound impact with somebody in the same room just by having your hand on them, having your hand on their shoulder, or holding hands with them and not saying a word. Because what that does, that connects on a human level. And what that tells that person is that it's okay and that they are accepted and that somebody's there. So you don't have to know the answers. A lot of times people will be like, what would I do if I was in this situation? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Get rid of all that and just be present and be okay with not knowing what the answer is. Don't let that keep you from being present. So when I get asked that question, those are the three things that I talk about. Pay attention to what you can and can't control. Pay attention to what the false beliefs are about not only you, but the person who is in therapy. And then third, just be present. Be present with the okayness that you don't have to know the answers. And that will do a lot and go a long way in regard to your loved one who is going through therapy, because it will build and kind of reinforce the relationship at home. Okay, so there you go. Until next time, I'm Dr. John Wheeler. If you need to talk about what we're talking about here, or if you need some references, I know a lot of good therapists in the area, and I can always kind of point you in the right direction. Or if you want to talk to me, this guy, then I'm here for you. So God bless, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.